Hey. My bad. So, how you feeling? You aren't, like, disappearing anymore, right? I know that you're fine and we don't have to worry anymore, so yay, but I can't help it, I still do. I didn't want to say anything before we fought Arcturus, but you should care a bit more, since it concerns you. Weren't you scared you might disappear? I don't blame you. It can't be easy knowing you might not survive. But I think it's amazing that you risked your own life to get Yamato to come back. And more than that, you kept on fighting. Not once did you want to run away from all this. I won't lie. I was terrified of losing you. That's why I fought so hard. It just shows how much you really mean to me. You're my best friend, man. We've crossed worlds, and I've tried my best at a whole ton of things, and I feel like that's helped me grow. But even that is nothing compared to what you have to go through. Seriously, compared to you, I'm still about a slightly empowered flea. You think so? Sometimes it doesn't feel that way. I'm sorry, this isn't about me right now. It's about thinking ahead. We gotta decide what to do about Miyako-chan, and what to do from here on out. Well, I should start heading back. Hey, thanks for listening, man.
All those injured, please step this way. We have medical supplies ready. Why didn't you save my daughter? Cowards! You could have saved her. With all that power, you should have. I'm sorry. There was no other choice. We had to leave her to save the others. No. No. It's too much. I'm so sorry. All those injured, please step this way. We have medical supplies ready.
They act so damn righteous, but they left people to die all the same.
You know as well as I do that if they'd gone to help those people, we'd all be dead. Listen, man, we were in the larger group. There was no other option.
Maybe, but there were kids with the others, man. I can't come to terms with that.
Ah, it's you. Chip's just finished carrying out a rescue operation. I wonder how the agents with boots on the ground in that mission actually feel. I'm sorry, that was a silly thing to say. The operation's over. All this is just conjecture. Watching them all reminds me of my own missions with Chips. I could never agree that it was worth sacrificing the few to save the many. I used to argue with Chief Miyako all the time. I remember once I was protesting a mission, and Chief Miyako just shot back with a theoretical situation. There's a train car that's out of control. Up ahead, the railroad splits. There are workers on both ends. 5 workers will die if you let the train run its course, but only 1 if you switch rails. She asked if it would be better to switch the rails or let the train continue on its path. It is. I couldn't answer. She said she would sacrifice the one. No fear, no hesitation. I couldn't say anything back. I wonder if I was even qualified to serve her. Maybe so. What would you have said to her question?
I was wondering what you two were discussing. It seems ethics is the order of the day.
Oh, Chief Yamato.
Testing my own ability, are we? Very well. Out of respect for you, I will give an answer.
Please, what would you do?
If I had command when this alleged train incident would occur, I would do nothing.
Huh? Nothing?
Furthermore, the choice would be of no consequence. Regardless of whether I make the switch, capable humans would use their wisdom to survive. The incompetent will die sooner, if not later. I judge by your silence that was not the answer you desired. But of course, that wasn't the point of the question.
Then, what was the point? I understand. Whether you'd save the many or sacrifice the few, there are other answers.
Exactly. Reality is never so clear-cut. Don't simplify the problem, Sako. If you have the time to ponder some idle logic puzzle, think about every angle.
Every angle. That's it! Chief Yamato, thank you so much!
The both of us gave you counsel. Don't let me down, Sako.
Yes, sir. I think I finally understand, thanks to the both of you. I'm gonna go think on the meaning of those words a little longer. Well, I'll see you later. Thank you.
Ah, it's you. Watching the world. It's been a while since I've been outside like this. By the way, what do you think of this world? Ha! You haven't changed at all. Even a world as twisted as this seems fun to you. This world is still a far cry above the second. However, if it wasn't like this, it would mean my time in the Akasha Stratum was for naught. No need. You ought to thank Alcor instead. Without him, we would never have been able to regress past that world. It was a terrible place. Nothing but death and despair. But what is he doing? It isn't like Alcor to get himself captured. Why? Should I be? The simple fact is, we have need of his powers. It would cause trouble if he were to keep sleeping. That's all there is to it. You're right. We'll rescue Alcor as soon as matters are settled. You and I together. We won't lose this time. There is a problem.
A problem? What problem? Did something happen?
With Arcturus out of commission, the void should have ceased its spread. It has not.
What? Are you serious?
I'm afraid so. I've compared reports from multiple areas. The void is still closing in around us.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
The spread hasn't stopped near Osaka or Nagoya either. It has slowed down since we defeated Arcturus, but at best it only gives us a little more time.
But why? If the void isn't stopping, how How much longer do we have?
It's difficult to get an exact number, but I'd say a day, maybe 2.
1 day? Why? We defeated the Triangulum. We did everything we could. Of course we did. We fought Denebola, Spica, Arcturus. That's all of them. No, hold on. We haven't. We technically haven't defeated them. Huh? They're not destroyed. They're in Miyako's custody. Maybe that's why the void hasn't stopped.
That is a possibility. But we can verify that the attack against this data in the Akashic Record has ended. If their assault had not subsided, he would be gone by now.
So, where's that leave us?
It leaves us in a world that will soon be consumed by the void. That Miyako woman claimed the astrolabe was shut off. How does she know about its existence?
Maybe Psyduke told her.
That might explain why she knows about it. But that doesn't explain how she knows it will remain shut off after Arcturus' defeat. Most importantly, has the astrolabe actually ceased to function? Can we really trust her words?
She seemed very sure when she said it. Chief Miyako does not make claims like that lightly.
If her claims are true, then our situation is even more dire.
Yeah, this world has already been heavily damaged by the void. If we use the astrolabe to regress the world, we'd be able to invert that damage. But there's no chance of doing that if the astrolabe really is non-functional.
That was our plan. Defeat Arcturus and return to the Akasha Stratum with Alcor to regress the world again. It would seem that now we need to reactivate the astrolabe somehow.
Reactivate it, huh? If we asked Psyduke, he might know something that could help. Unfortunately, Miyako still has him captive. And the Triangulum, too. It seems that girl is holding all the cards within her grasp.
We know that she has a plan, and that it involves sacrificing the 13 of us.
What do you think Chief Miyako's plotting? Chief Miyako does seem to know more than we do about the astrolabe and the Triangulum. You think that perhaps she's using this knowledge to try and save the world?
I don't think she's a bad person either. She's been trying since the beginning to protect humanity from the Triangulum. And she did come to save us.
You're such a sucker. She's probably only been helping us because she needs us for her master plan.
There's too much we do not know at this time. Perhaps we should wait for her to contact us. I have other business to attend to anyhow. I had planned on investigating how this world's gyps can control the Dragon Stream. It became quite apparent in the battle against Arcturus. My control over the Dragon Stream is much weaker in this world. As it stands, I am no match for Miyako Hotsuin. Odds are, we will need to face her one day, and I need to be prepared for it. For now, stay sharp, and keep your eyes on Miyako Hotsuin. Dismissed.
Hey, we're getting the transmission from Chief Miyako. Everyone's at the command center already, so you better hurry.
Oh, there he is.
Now that all of you are here, let's begin.
Okay, I'll patch her through.
Good evening to all of you in the Nagoya branch.
Do not bother with formalities. We have questions, and we want them answered. Tell me what you know about the astrolabe, and about Alcor. Where are you keeping him?
I have no obligation to answer that question. I will only say that he is safe for the time being.
Alright, that's good to hear. Any chance you'll just give him back?
No, that is something I simply cannot do.
Okay, back to the astrolabe then. You said its functions will remain shut down even after Arcturus' defeat. What did you mean?
I meant exactly what I said. Even should you slay Arcturus, the astrolabe would not reactivate. This is because there is no rightful administrator. No, Alcor is not an administrator.
Why the heck not? He took his place on the heavenly throne. Besides, he already managed to work the Akashic record so that we could regress the world. Twice.
He is insufficient to become an administrator. Therefore, he would not be capable of reactivating the astrolabe.
Then, how do we reactivate it?
If Arcturus had succeeded in taking the heavenly throne, that would have reactivated the astrolabe.
But Arcturus was trying to destroy mankind. We can't allow something like that to become administrator.
Yes, I agree. Allowing Arcturus control of the astrolabe would have been unthinkable. However, if we wish to restore the parts of this world that have been devoured by the void, we require the astrolabe.
Chief Miyako, you speak as if you have such means. Do you have another way to reactivate the astrolabe?
We need to create a true administrator, preferably one that won't attack mankind.
Create an administrator? Is that even possible?
It certainly is.
How?
My plan at its fruition will make Alcor into an administrator, with the right to sit upon the heavenly throne. To achieve that, I will require the cooperation of all 13 of you. Did you lock up the Triangulum for the same reason? That's why the void's still spreading. Because you won't just destroy them. I can see how you would come to that conclusion, but your speculation is just that. The void has not stopped because there is no administrator upon the heavenly throne. Its current spread is unrelated to the Triangulum, now that their functions have ceased. I have been keeping the Triangulum in a near-sleep state because I intend to make them swords.
Swords? Are you going to fight someone?
The swords are the servants of the administrator. They carry out its will. Polaris had the Septentriones, and Arcturus had Denebula and Spica. Alcor was not recognized as a legitimate administrator. He had no swords to command. If we repurpose the Triangulum to become his swords, he will truly be able to claim the title of administrator. You can do that? Only if the 13 of you cooperate.
Now, when you keep saying cooperate, what does that entail exactly? I should probably tell you that I may have to sit out any strenuous activity this could involve.
I need all of you to become part of the device that will turn Alcor into the administrator.
Part of a device? What does that even mean?
Once you become one with the device, your consciousness will cease to be. All sensation, thought, and physical activity will be halted, and you will remain suspended in a state very close to death.
What? That's... Oh, man.
No way!
How long would we have to stay a part of this device?
If you truly wish for peace, for all eternity.
Right. You're taking this joke way too far, Miyako-chan.
I am sorry to say this is no jest. There is no other way to save this world. Once you enter the device and Alcor becomes the rightful administrator, the astrolabe will reactivate. At that point, he will use the astrolabe to regress the world once more, returning it to a state before this destruction began. As long as Alcor remains administrator, there would be no threat from others, such as Polaris or Arcturus. There'll be peace once and for all. And the only ones capable of fulfilling that role, becoming one with the device, are the 13 of you.
We're the only ones? Why?
It is the mandate of Providence. I am unsure how much you are aware of regarding the Administrator and the Astrolabe. But as the ones who defeated Polaris, only you have the right to activate it.
Because we have administrative authority.
Administrative authority? What's that?
I'll explain later. All you need to know for now is that the 13 of us are necessary to use the astrolabe again.
Yes. All 13 of your lives must be sacrificed for the reactivation of the astrolabe. And I too shall sacrifice myself to see this plan fulfilled.
You too? And why is that?
Because my existence in this world is unnatural.
What do you mean?
Now that my brother has returned to this world, I should not be. I am an anomalous existence. If I remain, there is a chance the astrolabe will not reactivate. In order to safeguard mankind, I must be sacrificed as well.
Miss Miyako, you're okay with that? How can you speak of sacrificing yourself without hesitation, without fear?
It is because I am Miyako Hotsuin. I am humanity's guardian and shield, the head of the Hotsuin family. It is not only for the sake of my duty. I wish to protect humanity. I wish to see them live in peace and prosper. We all know someone whom we wish to protect. Friends, family. Please, you must understand.
But even if it is to save humanity, it shouldn't require a sacrifice. It shouldn't come at such a cost. Miss Miyako, just as you hold humanity dear to your heart, there are many who hold you dear the same way.
You're so strange. Most people would be angry or in denial with all this talk. Yet, it seems as though you are more concerned for my well-being than your own.
Of course we don't want to die, but we don't want anyone else to have to die either. Which is why we don't want you to sacrifice yourself. We will do everything we can to stop it.
Alas, there is no other way to save this world. My plan will ensure the most lives saved for a small sacrifice. I wish to protect the people of this world. And I believe in you. I know that you will come to understand me and agree. I will contact you tomorrow morning to hear your answer. Farewell.
Hold on. How do we know you're telling the truth about any of this? We want to talk to Psyduke.
You will just have to trust in me. It is all I can ask of you.
So, to save the world, we have to die.
This is way too big of a decision to make right now. And besides, we don't know if we trust what Miyako-chan has to say on the subject, yeah?
At least her explanation of the triangulum makes sense. If Falcor were not a rightful administrator, it does stand to reason that Arcturus would appear to replace him. I feel there is a great deal of truth in what she told us just now.
Then, if we don't do what Miyako-chan says, we won't be able to use the astrolabe. Ever. The world will just end up swallowed by the void, and we're finished.
I suppose we should agree on our answer by tomorrow morning, then. You are all dismissed. Try to get some sleep.
Well, hey there! Looks like you had yourselves another busy day. I made a little summary about all the cool stuff you got up to today. Well, want to hear it? Alrighty, let's give this a go. First off, you got a checkup from Otome last night, so you woke up in the infirmary. After you had a stretch and brushed your teeth, you discovered that Mako Mako escaped from Gyps. It turns out she didn't discover anything about what Miyako Hotsuin was plotting, but at least she got out safe. Phew! Then you guys went to the Sky Tower to save His Excellency. Along the way, you beat the snot out of some pesky Gyps agents guarding the terminal. You snuck into the underground facility all stealth-like and talked with His Excellency. That's when, spoiler, you found out that Yami has been in the Akasha Stratum this whole time. I didn't see that twist coming. Now, to make this all sorts of complicated, His Excellency was being held captive by the Dragon Stream, so you'd need Yami to break him out. Except there was no way to get to the Akasha Stratum, so, there was no way to get Yami. We were all trying to figure out how to get up to that giant space library, when out of nowhere, bam! Arcturus o'clock! You put up a good fight against Arcturus. Full points for trying, but in the end, there was no way you could topple it. I mean, what's with that cheap ability? It's cheating, I say. 100% not fair. So don't get down, sweetie. It's not your fault. So you guys were gonna run, and at that very moment, Miyako Hotsuin showed up to lend a hand. Finally! But then again, it was probably only because she needed you guys alive for her vague, mysterious plan to work, right? Oh, when you guys were holding the line against Arcturus, your friends got more of their memories back. That's when you realized that this was actually the third world. There was a whole second world before this. It turns out you guys, well, most of you, already fought the Triangulum in the second world. That's really sad, though. It would have been nice for you guys to have had a little peace and not remembered all that bad stuff. It's not right, and it's not fair that things had to happen like this. Tico is near tears over here. On top of that, your friends figured out why you're the only one who didn't have that dream. It's because, well, you didn't exist in that world. It makes so much sense now, right? Right? Right after that whole big fight, the void started spreading really, really fast because of Arcturus. It was all, super not cool. So you guys were all like, sigh, fine, I guess we need Yami's help to beat Arcturus. Because it turned out, in the second world, it was Yami and His Excellency who took Arcturus down for the count. So, Fumi happened to stumble on a terminal that Gyps was trying to keep hush-hush this whole time. And behold, it was a terminal that could send you flying all the way through space to the Akasha Stratum. As soon as you got that news, dun dun dun, disaster struck and you got a death video of Yami. So you guys were all like, no, Yami, we have to save him. So then you went to the Akasha Stratum, which is where you learned why Yami was up there the whole time instead of down here, helping. I guess the Triangulum were trying to destroy your data in the Akashic Record. And Yami stayed behind to salvage and restore your data. And see, it's all confusing because remember how you totally didn't exist in that super bleak second world? It's thanks to Yami fixing up your data that you were resurrected in this one. Of course, it wasn't all hugs and high fives. You found out that if Yami stopped restoring your data, you might maybe disappear. Which is why he was all like, I have no intention of returning to the material plane. But
And you were all like, please, and he was like, sigh, I suppose I consent. You promised him that you'd totally demolish Arcturus before you disappeared. Yami was all swooned by your charm and your suaveness and your cuteness, and he decided to come back with you. So you and Yami formed the super epic team of Arcturus smashing, and you guys smashed Arcturus. And that slowed the spread of the void, which is awesome, but it didn't stop it, which is less awesome. And Miyako Hotsuin said it was because the astrolabe was shut off. Then, at night, Miyako Hotsuin called and she finally told you about her big plan for totally saving the world and stuff. It kind of sort of involves sacrificing the Triangulum, herself, and all 13 of you, so yeah. But doing all that would totally make His Excellency the rightful administrator. According to Miyako Hotsuin, her big plan for totally saving the world and stuff is the only plan for totally saving the world and stuff. But to make that work, she wants you all to sacrifice yourselves. She ended the transmission after saying she'd give you until tomorrow to make a decision. But, you know, when you think about it, can we really trust what that woman says? Is Miyako Hotsuin's plan really the only way to fix the world? Oh well, I got no clue. Well, that about wraps up today's big events. Okay, have a nice week!